Welcome back everyone. I'm back out in my permission, or one of my permissions in Perthshire, and I spotted the other day, I'm really limited ground at the moment, this little strip of set aside, and there's an old trackway that runs immediately up this left hand side of the field. So I thought, you know what, I've got a few hours. Martin and Peter don't know that I'm out, so let's go and see if there's some jewels to be found. So first find is up, didn't film it, but here it is. What is that? Got no idea. Can't see any markings on it. It doesn't look like it's broken off anything. It looks like it's intentionally that shape, and it's probably either, I think it's bronze, it's quite heavy. Anyone any ideas with that one? So we're out the hole and we're in here. I don't have high hopes, so I thought let's share the disappointment together. I can see something that looks like a piece of metal, and here we go. I was hoping it might have been a bit of a buckle, but it's not. It's just a slither of copper, I think. So who knows? On to the next. So it didn't sound the best, but I dug it anyway. I haven't filmed it, and there we go. It's another piece of bronze. Again, it looks like it's got a purpose, like that other piece, but I've got no idea what the purpose was. So the finds are coming up thick and fast, but I've got no idea what they are. This certainly got some shape to it. It's kind of scalloped slightly, and it's got this groove on the other side, and I think it's also made of bronze again, so not sure on that one. So my first good solid signal. So out in the second spadeful is what looks like a coin to me. It's a very brown coin, and I don't think it's going to be very old. I'm going to hazard a guess it's Queen Elizabeth II, because for some reason in these fields her coins always go brown. Let's see. And I was correct. It's an old penny of Queen Elizabeth II, the present Queen. Obviously this is a lot larger than the pennies that we use today. Not that people really use pennies anymore. But it's Queen Elizabeth II, and on the other side, 1 penny, and the date is 1960 something. 1965. It's kind of a bit misshapen on the edge there. Wonder if that was me. I don't think so. It looks old. Probably been hit by the plough. But 1965, 1 penny. You've got Britannia on the reverse there. So Britain was decimalised. Its currency went into decimalisation, as in 100 pence to the pound. Before we had pounds, shillings, sixpence and all the rest of it. So this is from pre-decimalisation, and that happened in 1971. So always check your hole. Look at this. We've got a hoard. We've got another coin in the same hole. Just gave it a quick scan before I wandered off. It's also brown in colour. Let's give it a wee clean up. And it is indeed Queen Elizabeth. I wonder if the same person has dropped the coin. You'd have to think so, being so close together. Queen Elizabeth II. And I thought it was a modern 5 pence, but it's not. It is a sixpence, a silver sixpence. I know it doesn't look very silver. That's because they debased the coins by this point. After 1947, I think it was, the silver content was basically non-existent. And here they are, side by side. 1965 1 penny and 1966 silver sixpence, albeit not very silver anymore. So you can see how much they are similar to one another. What I said earlier about they take on this brown colour. It's obviously because of the metal that these coins are made from. I'm pretty sure it's some kind of nickel. So there we go, 2 coins in quick succession. This one sounds quite good. Could it be another coin? And the answer is no. It's a great big hot rock, a big lump of charcoal that takes on a metallic sound, a metallic tone because it's been mineralised. Oh well. So this is becoming the tale of 2 finds in 1 hole. Charcoal was not the only signal that was there. This was also there, and it looks like a lead seal. So that's the best I can do for the moment. It looks like it's just a mishmash of letters and numbers. I think that is still Russian, like previous ones normally are. You can see at the bottom H114. There's normally a date on all of these. On the other side, 19H and then 825. And you can see it's quite chunky. So I think this is a lead flax seal. Flax that came over from Russia. Probably dates to sometime between about 1750 and right through to about 1880 normally we get them. And this would have been attached to the flax. It's like an import seal but also a quality seal. And the flax was then processed in Persia in mills into linen bed sheets, linen pillowcases. And these lead seals were just thrown off of the bales of flax. So I didn't film this because it was very erratic, and I'm barely 6 feet from the previous lead seal. Looks like I've got another one right here. You beauty. Right, let's give it a clean up and see what we've got. Well, there we go. The one on the right is the one that I just found. It looks pretty identical, and I think it tells me there's a 1, an 8, a 2, and what looks like it could be an 8 or a 9 coming in there. So I think that's 1820 something, which tells me that this one is 1825 and the 1 is missing from that side. And again, it looks like it is in Russian. If anyone can translate that for me, then let me know. And this shows you just how good this XP Gold Max metal detector is. So there's a tiny little lead bullet. It's a 22 caliber, and you can see where it's impacted on something hard, and that was at a depth of about 8 inches. Again, another absolutely tiny find. It's a tiny little piece of bronze, maybe from metalworking or such like. But again, depth of about 6 inches, and it would have been so much easier to find if I had remembered to bring my pinpoint probe. But there we go. Another good one. A little bit erratic, but I'm hoping it's going to be a coin. And bingo, it is a coin. Can you see what I see? Right here. Popped out with the first spadeful. Looks pretty crusty. Pretty crusty. It's been in the ground a while, this one. It's definitely not going to be Elizabeth II, so let's give it a clean up and see what we've got. So that is the best I can do. And I can just make out enough detail on the head side to have a guess who it is. Can you just make out a bust facing to the right hand side? There's a nose just there and eyes. You can see some hair up here, and that is, I think it's going to be George III, because see up here I can just see 111. Yeah, it is. It's George III. So George III, so that'll put it sometime between 1760 and 1820, give or take. So we've got a cracker. Surely has to be a coin. And what a coin it is. It's a tin can. Aluminium, or aluminum, as those in North America would describe it as. Yeah, brilliant. The joys of metal detecting. Well, this one was a pretty good signal. It was very shallow, and it looks very old. But what could it be, or what could it be part of? Part of a pendant maybe? Well, I hoped it was going to be part of some ancient relic, because it looks like it's been in the ground for a long time. However, turning it over, you can just make out this line here and here. Look at this. Toys. Toys. So it's clearly off of a toy. What kind of toy? I've got no idea. But it's clearly not very old. Well, it's always handy when you get a signal and you don't need to dig a hole to find it. Now look at that. The question is, coin or button? Soon find out. Well, I can't see signs of a shank on the back. I love it when you get these imprints. It's been in the ground for a wee while, this one. So let's see what we get. I love it when you get those wee imprints. It's almost like a coin itself. So here we go. Quite crusty looking again, like the last one. I think we're going to be struggling with this one, but let's give it a clean, see what we get. Well, it is pretty crusty, but I've just managed to get enough detail off it. You can see the head in the middle, facing the right hand side. Monarchs flip direction. Every monarch faces the opposite way to the one before, so that always helps you to narrow it down. And on the back, it's difficult to see, but I can just make out Britannia seated. The words, I think they are half, which would be half penny, which tells me that this is George III again, the madness of King George. So that's going to put it sometime probably in the later part of his rule. I guess I would say it's probably going to be sometime about 1800s, 1820s. Let's see what we've got this time. So that's a very strange one. That is a great big piece of lead, but look how thick it is. It's got some shape to it, almost as if it's been a hook or such like. Very smooth on the edges. Can't see any lettering or decoration or anything, but I'm not sure what that could be off of. If anyone knows, let me know. Another nice signal. Can you see what I see? Right here. This ground's quite waterlogged, this bit. But unless there's a shank on the other side, I think we've got a coin. But yeah, it's got to be a coin. Right, let's give it a clean. Here it is, given a clean up then. Now, what is going on here? That looks like Britannia, but surrounded by, it looks like oak leaves, a garland of oak leaves on each side, a bow at the bottom. I don't know, it looks like a Union Jack on the shield, but I don't recognise this design. Turn it over, and I don't know what's going on. M-O-R-P-A-T-R? There's an A, Amor. It looks like George III, looking to the right, with a sort of Romanesque laureate wreath or laurel wreath in his hair. But it's not, because it would say Georgius III, de gratia, by the grace of God. And this one says Amor, P-A-T-R, Patre. I think this is a foreign coin. And I'm going to have to rely on some of you to help me. Could it be French? I've had a few French coins over the years out these fields. Looks like there's a 1 and an 8 down here, so 18 something. So any ideas, let me know who this is. Surely it can't be another coin. there's a bit of background to it, but I'm going to dig it anyway. This might well be my last signal of the day. I'm going to go back and watch the football. But, do you see this? Looks like it could be lead. Looks like it is lead. But a lead what? Is it another seal? I think it is. Oh, dropped it. It is, it's a lead seal. Let's have a wee look, see what it's like. So if this is my last signal of the day, it's a cracker. Smooth on the back. You can see there's a little slot there where there's been a piece of cloth or something passed through to tie it on. And on this side, someone who's seen previous videos might recognise this. It's a pair of crossed keys. And this is from Riga. R-I-G-A, Riga, I think it's in Latvia. Pretty sure it's the capital city of Latvia. And this is another lead seal that would have been on flax that was exported from Riga to Scotland to again convert it into linen, process it into linen bed sheets and pillowcases and tablecloths. It was a big industry in Perthshire. So that's great. These were in use from around about 1650 through until I think the very early 1800s, and the crossed keys are the sort of coat of arms of the city of Riga. So fantastic. I had one of these a few months ago in the neighbouring field, and I'd never had one for years before that, so over the moon. That is a cracker to end the day. Brilliant. So that wasn't quite the last find of the day. Look at this little beauty. A vintage Coke can ring pull. If you're old enough to remember this style. This will predate probably the mid to the late 1980s. So almost a collector's item. So here we go. That is a pretty good going 2.5 hours. Give or take. We've got all the dross on the left hand side, some bits and bobs that we'll probably never know what they were. I'd be interested to know what the strip of lead is, the big sort of lead hook, if it has a purpose, that is. But 5 coins and 3 lead seals. So the coins on the left, we've got 2 of George III, which are probably sometime between 1760 and 1820. We've got 2 on the right, which are Elizabeth II from the 1960s, both of them pre-decimalisation. We've got this unusual coin. I'm going to guess that it's French. I can just make out a 1 and an 8 at the bottom, so I think it's going to be probably the early 1800s, 1820s. But if it's French, or if anyone knows, let me know. And then 3 nice bits of social history, 3 lead seals. And the 2 on the left are both from Russia, and probably date to some time in the 1820s. But the one on the right, I think that's my star find of the day. It's a lead seal of the city of Riga, which is, I believe, in Latvia. And the crossed keys, which you can see on it, is the symbol of the city of Riga. But all 3 of these would have been attached to bales of flax that was brought over to Perthshire to be processed into linen, which was a huge industry in this part of Perthshire really started to kick on from the early 1700s and carried on right through until the Second World War in some places, 1945, give or take. So there we go, 5 coins, 3 lead seals and a mountain of other finds. All in all, that is a cracking day out. So thanks for watching. I'm away back to watch the Scottish Cup final and hopefully watch St Johnstone, who are the local team in this area, defeat Hibs of Edinburgh and do the league and cup double. So best of luck, St Johnstone.